Happy Friday, guys. Welcome back to another live stream, Friday music marketing live stream. I really like these live streams. I like switching it up from music production on Mondays and Fridays, end of the week. Let's talk about music marketing, how we can get people listening to our music so we can start next week with getting people to listen to our music. So speaking about music, I'm going to just play an upcoming single of mine coming out on January 29th, just to give you guys a bit of a preview. If you're interested, we'll just use about maybe 30, 40 seconds of that time to get people into the chat, get people comfortable, sit back, grab a drink or whatever. Or maybe you're drinking coffee right now. It's 5:30 in Berlin. This is Goodbye. It's coming out on January 29th. This is one of my singles. I remember blue lights, 5 years old in the backseat, counting snowflakes in the sky. You were singing while we drive. I remember cold nights, shimmering snow under my feet, making castles so wide, never felt so alive. I remember, where did all the time go? Am I getting too old? I remember, pick me up, we'll drive all night, watching the world go by, like we used to, watching the world go by, like we used to, watching the world go by. Goodbye, 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 watching the world go by. I remember you said, keep on moving, the sky's the limit. Don't look at me now, I'm down here on the ground, but I'm not done yet. I never knew how hard it gets. Friends can let you down. Cool, guys. That's a new single of mine. It's called Goodbye. I'm really excited to get that out. Hello, Arishant. First comment, he says, your channel is dead, which is not very kind of a thing to say in a chat room, but people will be people, I guess. So welcome in anyone coming to the chat right now. That was a new single of mine called Goodbye. And in this Music Marketing Friday, we're going to be talking about how to get on a Spotify playlist, specifically Spotify playlists. I know that there are many other marketing tactics that are beneficial out there, but I want to talk about Spotify because Spotify is the treasured jewel for musicians to get on a Spotify playlist. So I'll kind of go through what I do to get on a Spotify playlist, some of my tactics and techniques, and then if you have questions or feedback, comments, let's use this chat. Let's call it the knowledge chat, and we'll use it to help each other get on playlists. I've gotten on a lot of playlists and I know how to get on playlists, so feel free to ask me questions in the comments. I'm happy to share knowledge that I have. To give you a bit of a reference, you can go to my profile here. Charles Klein. That's me. I have longer hair there. And my recent single, Skeletons in Your Closet, has 160,000 streams so far. So that's through some of the different techniques that I will be talking about today. So feel free to, hello, Gamer Geek. Welcome to the channel. For those of you in the channel, just a quick pulse of who's watching. How many people are making music or releasing music? I'll give you a couple seconds to answer. Hey, Baharani. Cool. So you are making music. And how many Spotify playlists would you say you've gotten on so far? If you're open to sharing that information, you obviously don't have to share that information. I'm just curious if it is a struggle for people and if this is something worth talking about, or if this is like super common knowledge and not a lot of people struggle. But I'm pretty sure it's the former. So would love to get your thoughts in the chat. Let me know. I'll give you a couple seconds. So I've just searched pop folk music here, and this is something, I think this is my genre. It's very important that you know your genre when you're looking to get on Spotify playlists. This is the number one thing. It's going to save you a lot of time. And it's better to like narrow your reach and reach out to people who are in your genre instead of reaching out to electronic dance music playlist if you're a folk artist. You're just going to waste their time and you're going to waste your own time. So it helps everyone. Yeah, Bahrani, it takes a couple minutes for people to get in and for those to see the chat channel. So usually kind of start slow and yeah, just have a conversation with people and play some music, slowly talk about things, and then we'll kind of come back into this because it takes some time for people to get the notification and see it on the suggested videos and whatnot. So not to worry. We just started. So take advantage of this empty chat channel because maybe it won't be so empty for too long. Probably will be, but I'm talking maybe in like 2 or 3 years, hopefully. Okay, so so we have to know your genre. So you have to know your genre of music. If you don't know your genre, the one best way to figure out your genre is to ask someone else. Usually, if you're a musician, you're often blinded by what genre, or you have an idea of what your genre is, and sometimes it can be wrong. You might think you're making pop music, but you're actually making something really different, or you might think you're making dance music, but it's actually, underground house music or something. So ask someone else that is not even into music and ask people who are into music and get their both opinions. Okay, so you have your genre. Now you have to go out and get on a Spotify playlist. So there are really a few different buckets to do it. The first bucket is you go and do it yourself. So this is how you would do it yourself. I'll explain the buckets and then I'll go through each of the buckets and give examples of each one and how to do that with each one. So the first one is, doing it yourself. So you would go on Spotify and do it yourself. The second bucket is getting someone else to do it for you. So you hire like an executive assistant or someone on Fiverr or someone who can do the emailing for you. And then the third bucket is you go to a curator, like someone who has a large network, and there are a lot out there. Like the big ones off the top of my head are like SubmitHub, and I want to go through some other ones that I think are really valuable. So you've probably heard of SubmitHub. Have you put your music on SubmitHub, Bahrani? Here's how I would go about getting on a playlist if I'm decided to do this myself. Okay, so I would find my genre, and my genre is kind of alternative pop or indie pop. So I would go indie pop in the search bar, and Spotify gives you different search results: songs, artists, albums, and playlists. I would go over to playlists, go to see all. And then here we go. I have all the indie pop playlist here, and I would go through the playlist, maybe look at the images to see what works. But I'm more concerned about the numbers of followers. Like 1,100 followers. This one has 212 followers. So I'm kind of scrolling through and looking for that number where maybe it might not be over 100,000, because when you get into the hundreds of thousands, it's pretty much almost a guarantee that you cannot contact the curator because they'll be blocked by someone else. So, but the playlists within like 1,000 up to in the tens of thousands, usually you can still contact them or find a way to. So like, let's see this Den Haku Records Indie Vibes. So best indie playlist with folk, rock, and pop songs. And I'm looking at the description here to see if there's any contact information or a website. Usually there would be something. In this case, there's not. So you would fall back on then going to their profile. So Dan Haku Records. So it looks like this is actually maybe a label. So they're probably not accepting any submissions unless you're on their label. We can just look at some of the other playlists. They have different playlists here. We can go to their public playlists. So they have dance. No contact information in that description. Just look at some other ones. Lo-fi. So it's kind of dance, lo-fi. They have a lot of playlists, but no contact information in any of the playlists. So then you could just go to Google, like Den Haku Records. So just go Den Haku Records. Looks like they have a Twitter account and looks like they have a website. So you can go and send them a message on Twitter if you want, and you can go, yeah, I would send them a message on Twitter, to be honest. And that's the process, going through each of those and just reaching out to people. Obviously, it wouldn't be that hard all the time. Like maybe this one, Alex Rainbird. You can find this playlist on YouTube, so that's pretty easy. He just told you where to go. But you can see how long this would take you, right? This would take you hours to do, and it does take you hours. The first EP I released, I did it all myself. Now I have a team that does it like for me. So now, like when you're doing it yourself, it just takes really, really long. So you have to dedicate like days, like you have to say like a week. I'm just going to reach out to Spotify playlists. And if you're not into doing the work for a week, then don't be surprised if you don't get on any Spotify playlists unless you get someone else to do it for you. Hey Ava, how's it going? Good to have you in the live chat, the knowledge chat again. How's your songwriting going, by the way? Next Monday next week we'll do a songwriting session on one of these live streams. This week is a music marketing live stream. But if you have questions, or if anyone does have like questions about logic and music production, I don't want to like just ask them in the knowledge chat. Like we don't have to be so strict about each session in video. We'll try to keep a flow of the live stream, but if you have a chat about anything, just like pop it in and I can answer whatever. But the kind of theme for this one is music marketing. Hey Katharina, good to see you again in the live chat. You and Ava were here last week and it was lots of fun. So this week is about music marketing. I'm just going through different playlists on Spotify and teaching people how you can get on a playlist. This is the first bucket of getting on a Spotify playlist, which is doing it yourself. So going to the top of the search bar and looking at your genre. So it's indie pop, folk pop. Maybe you're in folk music, so folk. Go to folk playlists. This is a Spotify playlist, so you would not get on that playlist unless we can talk about how to pitch on to get on editorial playlists as well. So that's really the the key to doing it on your own, and it takes a long time. So like carve out at least a week before or after your release to do that. You can't really do this before your release because you want to have that Spotify link in place when you're pitching a playlist. Like if you pitch a playlist and get in contact with them and then they're like, okay, where's your song? And you're like, oh, it's not released yet. Then it's just kind of annoying for them because they want to know now if they got in contact with you. They don't want to like follow up and have to do with that kind of stuff. So it's important to have that link. Cool. I'm glad to hear that, Ava, that it's helped you out. And yeah, songwriters got to stick together, right? We're in this funny world of songwriting and music, the ups and downs and the flow of art and creation. So definitely got to support each other. The second bucket to get on a Spotify playlist would be doing this, but just getting someone else to do it. So maybe you would rather spend money and save time. So just pay someone to do it for you. Maybe you have a friend who needs a job, or maybe you can go on Fiverr, which is like a site where you can hire cheap labor, or maybe you can even put a classified on, or like there's a lot of administrative executive assistant site that are looking for work, and you can pay them for a week of work and just tell them like, hey, go search on Spotify for my genre and then reach out to every single playlist on there and pitch my song, and then say that you'll pay them to reach out to 1,000 curators, and that might take them like 2 weeks to do, but then you don't have to do it, but you paid them instead. And ideally, if they got you on playlists, then maybe you could make that return on investment with streaming revenue, maybe. But at least you're saving time. So the next way that I would get on a Spotify playlist would be to go to, I mean, you got to think about if you want to pitch to curators and invest cash, like SubmitHub, and two others I want to mention are Muso Soup and Send It Right. These are other like investments that you can make to pitch your song. So SubmitHub is pretty cheap. The problem with SubmitHub is that it has become saturated in a way. Like there are way too many people submitting, and so when that happens, the feedback's really poor, and they're trying to balance it because the demand is so hot. They're trying to balance their supply of curators, and so they're accepting curators that aren't that good. So like you can have maybe like 10,000 followers on an Instagram account, and then you sign up as a curator on SubmitHub and you get paid from SubmitHub, but then all you have to do is like post a story of the person's song. I'll give you an example. Like I did a SubmitHub campaign, and a curator accepted just to play my song on their Instagram story. So like, is that super beneficial? Yeah, kind of, but I'd rather get more exposure on a playlist. So SubmitHub is kind of, it's not my favorite product anymore, but it's something that is kind of like, it's just something you have to do in a way because it's another opportunity to try to get discovered, and it's not that expensive. The more expensive campaign products are Playlist Push, and yeah, I guess Playlist Push would probably be the most expensive one because campaigns run into the thousands of dollars, where you spend maybe $1,000 and they run a 4 or 5 week campaign for you and get you on Spotify playlists. For example, like let's look at some of these. Some of these won't be labels, and they will just be curators, but they'll be blocks. Let's see this one here. Yeah, so Folk More by Gracie.Hibbs. There's no contact information. There's no description. It's just Taylor Swift. That's weird. 1,300 followers? Something's going on here. That's that's got to be fake. So you got to watch out for this kind of stuff. It's just Taylor Swift. I'm not really sure what's going on, but 1,300 people are following this random playlist. That's the problem as well with Spotify. It's like there's so many bots now. Okay, here we go. Folk Indie. Let's go to the cabin and listen to this. So this guy David is probably a curator on SubmitHub and Playlist Push and all the other ones, and like he gets paid for that. But he's blocked the consumer to reach out to them, so he's blocked the artist to get in contact with them. But you'll notice like he's got some songs here, like big artists, but then there's some people you probably don't know. Maybe this person, Ulia, 1,300 monthly listeners. Like they're not famous, but Bon Iver and like Harry Styles. So this is kind of a playlist you can get on. This would be an example of a playlist you can get on. Hey, just popping in with a logic question, eh, Shubham? What about music marketing? Are you not thrilled about music marketing? You want to talk about music production instead? Is music production more fun to talk about? I really can't get into, I mean, can you please tell how to edit recording vocals? That is a major subject switch from getting on Spotify playlists. I can give you like a quick thing, like, I mean, no, I actually can't. Like, edit recording vocals. This is like a 30-minute YouTube video that I really would love to talk about right now, but it would be a big topic to get into. So I'm sorry, man. I'll have to do that another time because I don't have Logic set up, like running right now, and I'm not ready to record any vocals and start editing them. So tune in. Hey, Shubham, tune in next week, and we can go over that. You can also look on my channel. There's a video called "How to Record Vocals," and so I would go watch that. Cool, yeah. So SubmitHub, super easy to do, super cheap. It's Playlist Push, way more expensive, and the problem is, let me just bring up a calculator for you guys to kind of understand the economics of for you who don't know economics and who don't know marketing funnels or campaigns. But like if you're going to spend €1,000 to get on Spotify playlist, so you're going to go and spend $1,000 to Playlist Push. Great, sure. Okay, so how many streams do you need to make a return on that? Okay, well, what's the payout per stream? I think it's like on average, it goes up and down, but I think it's 0.006 cents. It's just wild. So, okay, so 0.006 cents per stream. Is it 0.06 cents? Let's just do a quick Google. Spotify stream payout. Streaming payouts. Okay, let's just go with 2019 numbers. 0.003. Wow, half less of what I was talking about. Oh boy. Yeah, you can't really be in the music industry anymore if you're in it for the money, because you heard it right. You saw it right there. Okay, so 0.006 cents per stream. So you would probably need to get like 1 million streams, I guess. Let's just see. I think 1 million. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's 3. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So you see how if you're going to spend $1,000 on a Spotify, a playlist campaign, the problem is like not everyone is concerned about getting a return, which they should be. Where like the discrepancies lie are maybe you're getting stream revenue, but people still pay for these campaigns because kind of living on a dream that like people will maybe spark something. So it's unfortunate that like we won't make the return on the investment all the time. However, it's still like a necessary evil, because you have to do these things to get exposure. Without these things, you just will be at ground one and you'll always be at square one without developing. So it's kind of like these little like steps that you need to take. It's a necessary evil that you need to take. Hey, Shupam, I don't think anyone is interested in this topic. Well, people watch these videos later, and I think that's kind of rude to say that in the chat. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch this video. So, but I got lots of Logic videos on how to edit vocals and things like that. So feel free to take a look at those, or come in next week. So, but yeah, as you can see, Ava and Catherine are kind of soaking some of this in. So yeah, now I lost my whole train of thought. So anyways, I think it's important to still, like, you have to try to get you have to go out and do these campaigns, even though maybe your first few won't have a return on investment. Like this, I'm speaking from experience too. My first few campaigns to get on playlists, I really never broke even. I'll show you my numbers even. So I released my first EP in 2018. It was called Decisions and it had 5 songs. And some of these songs still only have like 5,000 streams. And even less probably, because they're not even on this top 10 list. But so even to record this whole album and promote it, like, I probably definitely haven't made a return on that album. But it was the first step to take to do the next thing. And then I released this next 3-song EP, and it was a bit better, and it was still, and I think I broke even on that. And then I released these 3 singles, and I have another 4th one coming out, and then 4 more, so 7 songs in total this year. And this one will be break even and be profitable as well, because I've taken those first steps to like build the snowball, because you can't really go out on your first release and make a return. Unfortunately, the music industry economics don't work like that, because the stream payout is so low. It's completely different, like if you're selling CDs or if you have merchandise and you can get people into your funnel where you can sell products. But if we're talking like specifically about streaming, the return on investment is super, super low. So with that, it's good to have products like selling CDs or merch or some type of digital product. Maybe you can even sell your downloads or sell your music on Bandcamp and that type of thing. So it kind of took like a university economics little course switch there. So sorry about that. I'm also Canadian, so I think I just happen to say sorry a lot anyways. Okay, yeah, here's SubmitHub. Here's Miso Soup. This is the other one I was recommending. And then Send It Right was the other one. I think it's Send It Right, yeah. So Send It Right is also, I think, Send It Right, or actually Miso Soup is more of the different one, where they will listen to your song before they accept you, and then you do a one-off payment, like a month campaign. And it's cool with them because when you submit your song, they'll just say like, yes, your song is good, we'll work with you, and then they can get you press, hopefully. At least you have that feeling that they've taken a listen to your song, and they think that it's worth working with you. With SubmitHub, for example, or Send It Right, they don't listen to your song, so they'll just take your money. And that's a problem out there. There's tons of scams, so it is important to kind of do a bit of due diligence on these companies before spending them. There are a lot of legit ones, but there are also not a lot of legit ones. So just have to go in with it with a bit of some due diligence. And that's how you get on Spotify playlists. I mean, that's how I do it. It's really not like super hard work, but it's just kind of time consuming and ugly work to do and get in the weeds and send a lot of emails, or get someone else to do it for you. And like, if you're gonna think you can spend 8 hours a day reaching out to people on Spotify playlists, okay, how many on an hourly level, how much is your time worth? Like, maybe you have a job that gets paid $20 an hour or $10 an hour. Like, it doesn't matter. So your time is worth $20 an hour. So would you pay 20 times 8? Would you pay $160, right? Times 7. So if you're working $20 an hour for 8 hours times 7 days a week, or actually, I guess people work 5 days a week, right? So would you pay $800 for someone to do that work for you, and then you can do work on something totally different? Or would you do that yourself? So that's the question you have to ask yourself. And maybe your time's worth more than $20 an hour. Maybe your time's worth $100 an hour. Maybe your time's worth $5 an hour. So figure out like your hourly rate of your own time, and then make the decision and either do it yourself or get someone else to do it. Cool, we're back in action. I didn't think my streaming quality was so good for a second. So that is, there's one other thing I wanted to mention. Any questions in the comments right now? It's kind of been quiet in this session. Maybe I've gone too technical, and I will take note of this for next session. Yeah, Shubham, probably, I think Monday or Tuesday, we'll do music production live stream, and then maybe do a music marketing Q&A again on the next Friday, or talk about music promotion, music marketing. So feel free to tune in then. You can also ask me questions on or comment on any video, or watch those other recorded videos that I have. I do explain how to edit vocals in there if you're very adamant to know that. Cool. Well, I'm happy. That's all that matters then, Ava. I'm happy that you thought it was cool and that you did know some of that, and now you do. So that's super cool. That's all that matters then. So I'm content, and maybe next time we can go into actually how to release, like what you do pre-release and what you should do post-release, and some things that I've done that I thought were really valuable for me, that I could share with you. But I would like to leave it there, I think, and then I will see you guys. Feel free to check out, if you're interested in Logic Pro X videos. I just released one on like DAW organization and workflows. It could be interesting for you just to get a better, more productive session. And then, thank you, Katharina, for tuning in. Yeah, and Visual Notions. I don't have MPC beats actually, so wouldn't really be a great tutorial from me unless I get that. So, sorry about that. MPC. I don't even know what MPC beats is. I'm not sure if that's like a library or a piece of hardware, but I do have a tutorial on how to make a beat in Logic Pro X, and also how to make a beat with a step sequencer and Drum Machine Designer, so that you might find interesting and would probably be transferable to whatever MPC beats is. And I think that's a piece of hardware, isn't it? Never mind. I think it's like a piece of hardware. Okay, guys. Was lovely as always. See you in the